Hi guys, and welcome back to the final installment of the 12 days of foundation. We have made it. If you missed the first 11 foundation reviews that I've done, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, they will all be linked down below. Today we're going to be doing a powder foundation. I had actually reached for this one to review from Tarte, the Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation, but it seems like they're discontinuing it, or it's really not available anymore the same way it was in stores, and it's just available on their website now, I think. So let me know if you'd still like to see that in action. But today we're going to be chatting about the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. So let's go ahead and get started. So this foundation has been out for some time. It retails for $36 American, $47 Canadian. You're getting 7 grams of product in here, which is a little bit on the low side for a powder foundation. Probably the highest powder foundation in weight is the MAC Studio Fix, which is one of my favorites. You're getting 15 grams in there, but in general, on the low end, you're getting about 7 grams of product, and then midway, you're getting about 9 to 11 grams of product. So this is definitely on the lower side in terms of the amount of product that you're actually getting in here. It comes in 13 different shades, which is not so great. Tarte has since expanded some of their ranges. They're still working on it. I have the shade Tan Sand today, which is what I wore in their stick foundation. I will link to that video down below if you'd like to see it in action. The difference with this video versus some of my liquids is that I'm actually going to put my concealer on first. That's why I like to do powder foundations. I'll do concealer first, set that, then buff the foundation into my skin. To buff it in, I'm actually going to use the e.l.f. powder brush. This is my favorite for powder foundation. I also really like the Real Techniques buffing brush, but I feel like this gives a little bit more coverage, so I'm going to use this today. And I have reviewed some other powder foundations, so I will link to those all down below, but let me move you in a little bit closer and we'll put this on my face. So I just put a little concealer under my eyes, I primed my entire face, and then I set my under eyes as well. If you're not familiar with this powder foundation, it's not like a pressed powder, it's a loose powder, and then it has this little like kind of net here. Ooh, wow. That produces a lot of product. That kind of protects things, makes it a little less messy, which is great. I'm wearing the shade Tan Sand, which I believe I already said. I don't know if I really have anything else to say from there. Yeah, you get a lot of product. So just easy does it. And I've used this as a powder like to set my face, and as like a powder foundation, but I don't know that I've ever really paid much attention to it. Like, it's just been kind of like a quick out the door, put a little dusting on my face sort of thing. I've never really tried to build it up and I feel like this color is a little bit more orangey than the Tan Sand stick. I haven't worn the stick in a while though, but I'm just gonna try and build it up a little bit. Let me know what your favorite powder foundations are. I find them quite simple, and this brush is fantastic. It's like a $3 brush. On the website there, it claims to be 12 hours, weightless, full coverage of course, hypoallergenic and vegan. Sorry if that tapping noise is annoying you. They don't have it listed in like a nice format for me to like kind of quickly glance off of. So it says natural radiance, but also matte coverage, weightless, flake-free, full coverage to cover redness, unevenness, pores, and then it has the Amazonian clay to help with oil control. And then it also says precious gemstone tourmaline works to energize the skin and diffuse light for natural dimension. I don't think I'm gonna try to build it up to full, but I do have a really nice coverage now, and I look a little orange, but I feel like you can see it's not completely flat on my skin. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like it has a really beautiful finish. It's almost got this satin finish, even though it claims to be matte. And I mean, it's matte, but it has this like satiny look to it that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a powder foundation. And I was trying to look up really closely. I swatched some on my hand to see if it had even the slightest amount of shimmer, because it almost looks like when you're wearing like a shimmery bronzer that it has like a really light fine shimmer in it, and it just kind of reflects ever so slightly. That's kind of what it looks like on my skin. So really impressed with the initial finish, but I'm gonna go ahead and put on some makeup. I don't think I'll be wearing bronzer today because I already look very bronzed, but I'll be right back. So as you can probably tell, I kept it very minimal on the makeup. I'm actually skipping mascara, skipping highlighter, skipping bronzer, which is very rare for me. I don't know, it just looks really natural and beautiful on the skin, and I kind of just wanted to leave it pure. I got my brows threaded this morning, so they're looking very good. If you'd like to know more about my brow threading, I'll leave a vlog down below about the first time I got it done, but I can't recommend it enough. And yeah, I really like the way that things look. It could just be a smidge less deep and orange, but that can always be adjusted with the shade, with another shade, but it just looks really natural on the skin. I didn't build it up to a full at all, definitely like a medium coverage, left it even lighter in the center of my face. I put on quite a light concealer as well, light in coverage. So far I think things look really good. It looks super natural and feels very light on the skin as well. So when I took flash photos, I think that this looks really good. It's the kind of thing that I could just put on basically on its own and not feel the need to add any extra accompaniments. It just kind of enhances and evens out the skin tone a little bit. And then in flash photo, I think you'll really see that it has that nice kind of satin finish. It's not flat on the skin, because for me, especially over the past probably year and a half, I've been so much more conscious about not like caking on a ton of full coverage matte foundation. If I can find something that gives me that beautiful skin natural look, then I really appreciate something like that. And this is quite easy as well, just to buff into the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit some more 12 days of foundation videos, if I'm being honest, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Hello, coming to you with my afternoon check-in. I think things still look really good, with the exception of the shade being a little bit too orangey. It kind of almost looks a little bit muddy on the skin, but that's the shade, not the actual foundation finish. I feel like it still looks super smooth. It's not patchy. It still looks really natural on the skin as well. So I may need to go a shade down, because I think when I use this to set liquid foundations, I was maybe setting foundations that were a little bit too light for me, and I was using it much lighter and not building it up as much as I would have like I did today for it to be an actual foundation. But still looks and feels really comfortable on my skin. I feel like it still looks like, remember, I'm not wearing any highlighter or anything, so I think it looks quite good. I don't feel like it has oxidized. It already started off looking like it oxidized almost, but otherwise I think it looks good. So I'll see you in a few hours. Here we are at the end of the day for the final time of the 12 days of foundation, and I just want to make a quick note before I forget. I actually had purchased the new Makeup Revolution, or they're not that new, but Makeup Revolution stick foundation along with the one that has like the big dough applicator, and neither of those showed up, so I will review both of them. Let me know which one you'd like to see first, because that's probably the next or one of the next foundations I will review. Anyways, back to this foundation. I gotta say I really like it. The shade is off, as I've said several times now. I did lose a little coverage around the kind of perimeter of my face, on my nose and my chin. That's kind of where I tend to lose foundations, because I do a lot of this and a lot of this, or I don't know what I'm up to, but either way, that's where foundation tends to let go on my face. But I'm really happy with this. This is the kind of thing that I would reach for on days when I want something easy, but I still want to look put together. It's not necessarily something that I would wear on days where I'm like, I want something crazy long wearing, super full coverage, that kind of thing, because that's not what I would really go to a powder foundation for. Even though they claim it's full coverage in 12 hours, every brand is going to claim like that their foundation goes to the moon. So in my opinion, that's kind of how I would reach for this foundation. I definitely am going to look into getting a different shade, because I really enjoy the way that this looks on my face. I think it looks quite natural, and I have been wearing it for quite a while now, and I think it held up pretty well. So very happy with this foundation. Let me know if you would try it yourself, or if you have tried it, and what are your favorite powder foundations as well. I'm always curious to know, because they don't get talked about as much. I don't know if you can hear Rue and they're bothering Nems, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking part in the 12 days of foundation. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have a giveaway coming later in this month to be a little token of my appreciation for your support this year. I was gonna do them throughout the 12 days of foundation, but I didn't want it to get kind of cluttered in the messaging of the 12 days, because people will be searching for these reviews into like next year, and then there'll be like an old giveaway in there. So stay tuned for a giveaway coming in December. I have an exorbitant, a lot of makeup to give away to you. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time.